I finish? Is that okay?
Hello, lovely people, and welcome to Can I Finish podcast with Travis and Inka. Yeah, let's listen to some smooth jazz and listen also to the hailstorm raging outside our windows and feeling the vibe. Welcome.
Welcome to the smooth sounds of Can I Finish After Dark. What's out your window? Let us know at Can I Finish. What's out your window? Oh, someone in a car. What are they doing? Oh, the windows are steamed up. It's rocking. Okay, don't look. Don't look, they're shy.
Have you ever seen people having sex in a car?
I accidentally once went to a quite notorious dogging spot.
Right.
Where me and a
Not dog walking.
No.
All right, different thing.
Do you know what dogging is?
Yes.
Okay, right. Just to check.
There was a joke somewhere there.
For a second, I was worried that you were...
Please explain it to me.
Okay, I think... Basically, anyway, we went to... this is when I had a girlfriend and we were too young to sort of stay over at each other's houses, but old enough to sort of snog in a car.
Right.
So we found a secluded spot and some lights started flashing at us and I was like, Need for Speed, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right.
So yeah, we I think people thought we were there for whatever meetup they were having and we were not.
How fun. Great interaction with other people.
Yeah, love the public. Welcome to Can I Finish? This is episode 10 of Can I Finish, the finale of season 1.
Yes, it's been a long time coming. We haven't seen each other for a long time.
No.
There's been stuff in both of our lives.
Yes. So it's been a while since we've seen each other, but we're here now and that's the main thing.
Yes, we are both tired.
Yes.
Burned out. But doing this for the last time, and we are being brave.
Yeah, it's a really hard job, this talking in front of a microphone for 40 minutes. But we'll get through it, I promise.
I'm trying.
There is some big news ahead in this episode, but you're going to have to hang around till towards the end. We're going to give you a little bit of news.
Oh my God, that's so annoying. Make
sure you stick around. It's a tease so that, it's about retention, Inka, what you maybe don't understand about the medium of podcast, because this is your first one, right?
You're mansplaining.
This is my...
podcast to me.
The queen, the pod queen?
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
That's me, pod queen.
I'm on Mount Podmore, if you must know. There's me, Conan O'Brien, the woman off of Serial, and Antti Holma.
You know Antti Holma?
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh, that's lovely.
And they're the four faces of Mount Podmore.
Did you just make that up, the phrase, or is it like, is that Mount Podmore a thing that podcaster dudes say?
It is I would say, a concept I've stolen from a much more successful podcast, sure. Because today we're talking about comedy. And what is comedy if not stealing bits? Yeah,
stealing bits and changing 2 words and maybe a language. And there you go.
So we're going to be talking about comedy and stuff today, but first, we have a bucket load of correspondence to get through, Inka.
Yeah. Can I read the first one?
You certainly can.
Tutti sent us a message, and she's being lovely. I'm in love with her already.
Yeah.
Okay. Moikka Travis ja Inka. I can 100% confirm that the wild Finnish women in Australia is indeed a thing with a capital T. Great. I strongly suspect that I was the one of the founding mothers of said movement 30 years ago. I spent 6 months in Oz as an au pair. Au pair?
Au pair.
Au pair. How do you say it in
Well, if you
English?
say it in my voice, au pair.
You say it au pair. Au pair.
Au pair.
Okay, in Finnish it's au pair.
Au pair. Au pair. Nice.
Okay. And without fail, all my free time consisted of dating, drinking, going to the beach, gigs, and clubs.
Oh, what a life.
Exactly. I can't quite explain it, but there seems to be a certain chemistry between sun-kissed surfer dudes and chillers from the snowy Suomi.
Oh, what a sentence.
I love it so much. Also, my name attracts some extra attention in English-speaking countries. Tytti.
Tutti. It's close. It's close to...
To what?
Titti.
Right.
I'm assuming that's what I thought she was getting at anyway.
I just thought it sounded funny.
Tutti,
I'm so
titti.
innocent.
Yeah, all right.
To cement this legacy, I also posed for a nude magazine for some extra pocket money, and as a result had an amazing 2-week holiday. Happy days. You're welcome. Tutti XOXO.
Tutti, what a fantastic bit of correspondence to receive on this podcast.
I love your life. You're an icon.
You are what I would say is exactly what this podcast is about.
Exactly.
You're about a Finn getting out there in the world and just having the best time and telling us about it. I honestly can't thank you enough for that message. It made both of us crack up laughing.
I read that message for like 3 times. I was like, yes, please tell me more.
more.
Send us the picture of you being nude.
What is your last name? I was Googling furiously. Tutti, Australia, 30 years. Okay, 1990. No, I can't find it. So, hey, you know our email address. Thank you so much for that, Tutti. I got a message on our Can I Finish Instagram account from Harry. Catching up on Can I Finish on the party episode, you talked about a boot coming through the ceiling at a party. I did. That was, I think, when I was about 16, a boot came through a ceiling at a party. Harry says, it reminded me of a party I threw at my student house, where as I was walking across my landing to the bathroom, a party guest suddenly fell out of our attic onto me. Does that happen in the real world? That's incredible.
Weird.
We have so many questions. We'd only been living there 6 months and hadn't noticed we had an attic. This guy had seen the little door and decided to have a little search around. Big respect for that. Mm-hmm. Forgot about the open hatch and fell through. Anyway, we then moved the entire party to the attic and there was a genuine fear that we'd cave the ceiling in.
Sounds amazing.
This sounds amazing. That is the only thing that happens at those sort of like teenage student parties that right. You tell that to your kids when you're older and they're like, yeah, all right, the time that person fell through the ceiling. Yeah. Incredible stuff.
When you've been young.
Just about remember it, yeah.
When you went to home parties, did you ever search around for like basements or attics and like snuck in there?
I would never go into a basement because I have just an inordinate amount of fear towards basements. Right. If I'd had an opportunity in an attic, I definitely would. I used to climb onto roofs quite a lot because it felt like a bit of a skins thing to do.
Absolutely.
Like sit up on the roof, smoking fags.
We're done that too. Actually, shout out to Pepe who's done our artwork.
Yes.
Her old apartment had really cool roof. You could get to the roof from the kitchen window.
Oh.
It was dangerous, but we did it anyway and drunk.
Oh.
Yeah, but you could get to the roof, and we spent hours there. And of course, there were guys and girls in our group, and the guys often peed from the ceiling.
Peed from the. Oh right,
roof. Peed from the roof. Yeah.
I can see the appeal, if I'm honest.
Yes. I never peed from the roof.
No. I mean, it's a different process, isn't it?
More acrobatic, I think.
So you got to stand on your head. You got to, yeah. I can understand that.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about teenagers and roofs. There was also a period of time where I had a shed in my back garden. Do you know what a shed is?
Mökki, a small cottage or like a warehouse thingy.
Yeah, like a very small storage, like a wooden.
Simpsons groundskeeper Willie has a shed.
Yes, okay. That is the perfect reference. And I also had bunk beds at the time. So what I did was I took the ladders from my bunk bed that I climbed up to on the top bunk. I'd talk them down the stairs, into the garden, put them against the shed, and would climb on the roof. Now, I mean, this shed was nowhere near sturdy enough for
2 boards and a 1 nail. Type of
yeah, it was incredibly dangerous. And the thing was as well, it was about 5 foot off the ground. I wasn't even that high. I would have been higher being on my top bunk, but for some reason it was outside and
cool.
It's cool being at a
it's
roof.
edgy.
I look like a main character.
Exactly.
People are like, oh, he's so mysterious. What's he doing up on that roof?
He's just like Skins.
He's just a bit of a mess. Thank you, Harry, for that lovely bit of correspondence. We had a message from Susie.
Yeah. Susie absolutely loves the pod. When neither of you can actually speak for laughing, it's just brilliant and very contagious. That's not the only contagious thing, honey, that we have.
But just to be clear, we didn't pass it between ourselves. We both independently.
It can be a cough. Don't be dirty. I hope you don't acquire an adventurous palate before the next season so that Jiggle endures after all the work Travis put in. So many difficult words, but sounds smart.
You did a real good job there, because that was quite an English sentence, I would say. Well,
proper.
Seeing as it's the last episode of the season, oh my god, I've lost my sound effect.
Play the order thing.
All right, okay. This is what I wanted.
Travis is a baby mouth.
Travis is a baby mouth. A baby mouth.
That's so stupid. Still so incredibly stupid.
Some days I'll just be walking about and it'll pop into my head and I'm like, Travis is a baby mouth.
I also imagine that you don't actually have like a restrict palate, but you just have a really tiny mouth.
Yeah, it's nothing to do. It's just tiny little mouth. And only tiny little words get out. Thank you, Susie. A little too small, boy. Little small baby mouth. Lovely. And then finally, we got a message from Mint Chocolate Arctic Fox on Instagram, which is a stunning username.
Yes, good.
It was brought to my attention a little bit that I might have been slightly ignorant during the making of season 1 of this podcast.
Good. Check us.
Honest,
put us in order.
Humble me, please. So Minty said, Minty is a Finn living in Scotland, by the way. They pointed out that I, Travis, have generalised a lot. That's one of my main characteristics. And I've been talking more about England than the UK. I can see that. They said in Scotland, pub opening hours are longer. They have a right to roam as well. The school system is slightly different. And in terms of healthcare, Scotland has free prescription. So big up the Scots. That's on me. I've been pretty England-centric, so apologies there.
Scotland does it better.
They do.
Yeah.
They're just funnier. They're cooler and just great.
About the thing being them being funnier, actually there is a shout out. I'm doing shout outs today.
Hey, why not?
There is a Finnish-Scottish stand-up comedian, Ray Zambino, who lives and works in Finland.
Amazing.
And he's super funny and very Scottish.
Really?
Yeah.
Does Finns understand his accent? Do you think
Barely.
it's yeah. Do you think it's mellowed since he's been here?
He talks very slowly when he's on stage, which is understandable.
Amazing.
Yeah, he has this amazing joke about how the Finnish and foreign women always love Scottish men, and when you ask what you love about them, they say that the voice or the accent and never the face.
It's true. It's the same. Yeah, Irish men as well. They're like, oh, the voice. Oh, I could die for the voice.
What about the rest of me? Yeah, so shout out to Ray Zambino. You're being super funny on stage.
Which segues beautifully into our topic today.
Yes, I'm professional.
It is like you're a professional, isn't it? Professional.
I took some accent.
Wow. You've done a lot of talking today.
Have I?
No, I don't mean like now.
And I was like, I've been really quiet, actually.
No, I mean like in your actual real life day, not the day of the podcast. What have you been up to today?
I was on telly.
She was on telly.
Yeah, we've launched published our book, Bimboficaatio. Today is the 21st of August.
September.
No, September.
Yeah.
I knew it. Just checked you.
Yeah.
Keeping you in order. Humbling me, maybe. I don't know. Our book is out there today. And I was also with Taika in this morning show. And we talked there about bimbos.
Yeah.
We did good, I think.
That's so cool. I've not seen the actual full thing, but I've seen pictures, I've seen clips. You're born for the silver screen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And maybe the bronze screen.
The wooden screen. I don't know how that works. I briefly got to meet Taika at your birthday party.
Yes, she's great.
She's wonderful, and also she has got such an air about her. She's just very cool.
That's the like a popular person vibe around her.
Yeah. She's got real popular girl at school energy.
Yeah, but in a like a warm and easily approachable way.
Completely,
Yes.
yeah, completely.
She's gonna murder me for saying that. She's like, I want to be cool and distant, edgy, bitch. Sexy vibe. No.
She's all that.
But she's goofy.
And also goofy.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of we're both the co-host sort of.
Really?
Like our main sort of point of reference is
Did you fight outside?
I offered her a fight,
Yeah.
which I then didn't back up because she could have easily taken me. I was quite ill at your birthday party and she would have easily taken me down. But anyway, seeing as we're giving shout-outs, shout out to Taika.
Yes.
Shout out to Bimboficaatio.
Yes. Also, my mom sends her best because you met also at my birthday party.
Yes, we did. That was
She
really
liked
nice. Really?
Yes.
The way you say that is like you're surprised. She liked you.
Did I? I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, I liked her. It was really nice to meet her.
I'm surprised by that. No, of course not. Shout out to my mom, who doesn't listen to this podcast. But
Right. My mum does, though, so shout out to my mum.
Oh, great.
She listens to it because she was on it last week, so...
Like, will they mention me again?
Oh, it's exciting. So speaking of comedy and parents, to sort of delve into my comedic journey and your comedic journey, my parents had a real big impact on the comedy that I consumed when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah. So my dad introduced me to Red Dwarf.
What is it?
What is it?
I don't know what it is.
Wow.
It is.
Okay.
It's a phrase that's used in astronomy. I know that. No, this is the red giant, and then there's white dwarf and brown dwarf. There are different stages of stars, but
Right.
I've never heard of red dwarf.
Okay, this is great. I'm blown away that you didn't know that. I just assumed that you would. Okay, so Red Dwarf still is a very long-running sci-fi sitcom set in space.
Is there a different name in different languages? Because it's not a lot of the shows has been translated to Finnish. I have to Google this one.
We're breaking all the rules today. Inka, you're about to do your own Googling.
Yeah, I know. What is this?
What? I don't even know. I can't recognize this podcast
Because
anymore.
I love sci-fi. I love comedy. Why haven't I heard of this?
I've got to tell you, it's one of the best things. It started, I think, either late 80s, early 90s. And the whole premise is it's a mining ship out in space, and there is a catastrophic incident where all of the crew die, bar Lister, who is a bit of a slob, and he sort of, because he was put into suspended animation, so he survived
Right.
the whatever. And all of a sudden, we're 3 million years into the future. He's the last man alive, and he's basically just knocking around on this ship on his own. But there's a couple of other sort of characters who come into it. And I don't know what it was about it, but see, I like sci-fi as well. It's just really silly and really funny. And the first few seasons there's only like 3 characters in it.
Right.
One of them's a computer. One of them is like a cat. It's a humanoid cat that's sort of like over the 3 million years that is evolved from a cat. So yeah, and then there's a hologram. It's
all right.
Talking about it now, it sounds a bit weird and whatever, but it's brilliant. And they sort of brought it back a few years ago, and it is surprisingly still as good.
They brought it back, like they made more seasons, or
yes.
showing reruns, or
no? So they made more seasons on a different network. So I think it's originally stopped in about 97, 98.
Good years.
Good
for
year,
comedy.
vintage years. And then it came back like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. So,
all right.
But what I loved about this is my dad obviously introduced me to this, and he knew I loved it. And the main character in Red Dwarf is called Craig Charles.
All right.
Who is, for a little bit of context, he, as well as like being a famous comedy actor, he was in Coronation Street. Do you know Coronation Street?
No.
It's like the biggest soap opera
All right.
in the UK.
All right. Why hasn't it been shown here? Because we show Emmerdale
Yeah,
here.
well, it's on after Emmerdale, so you think it would just Coronation Street would be on straight afterwards.
All right.
Weird. He's also a radio presenter on BBC Six Music. Generally, pretty cool guy.
All right.
He was doing a stand-up tour, and I don't know how old I was. Maybe I was about 8.
Okay.
And they were promoting it on the radio, and it was like, call up and answer this question, and you can win 2 tickets to go and see Craig Charles. So my dad rings up the radio station, answers the question right, wins these 2 tickets, and it's like, who are you going to take? And he's like, I'm going to take my son, because he loves Craig Charles, whatever. So we get to the venue later that night. I'm not really aware of the concept of stand-up comedy.
Right.
What I'm aware of is I like this silly sci-fi program with Craig Charles in it.
Yes, and you're very young to see stand-up comedy.
Yeah. So we get to the door and we're like, here's our free tickets that we won. How exciting. They were like, yeah, you're too young to come in. You can't come in. And I was
I'm not surprised.
so gutted. I don't know why my dad hadn't considered that I was way too young, but it's like, because they were competition winners, he was like, oh, they'll be fine. So they went backstage and said to Craig Charles, hey, these competition winners are here, but the kid's too young, can't come in. So Craig Charles signed a tour poster, like a really personalised, it was like, to Travis, I still remember what it says, to Travis, when you're older, I'll let you in for free, Smeghead. Smeghead's like a quote from the show.
Right.
Signed it, and I had that poster, I still own that poster to this day.
Amazing.
And then when I was working at BBC Radio Manchester, which is near where Coronation Street was filmed, I bumped into him and was like, oh my God, I've got this post. And I told him the story.
Yeah.
And this is when they had just started remaking Red Dwarf. And he was like, send me an email, you can come and watch the show.
Amazing.
It all worked, this beautiful circle, and forever indebted to Craig Charles, the wonderful human that he is.
Aw, what a nice story.
Yeah.
What a wholesome story. In our podcast, what is this?
This podcast is different now, and I don't know if I like it. This is where we're going to get people like, I know I was into
boring.
it before, but it's too nice now.
Where's the poo jokes?
You've not mentioned piss once.
There it is.
Yeah. What about you? What was the sort of like your first sort of comedy experience that you remember?
Speaking about stand-up comedy, I think my comedy awakening was quite late.
Okay.
I saw Eddie Izzard DVDs like 2008 or something.
Wow.
And then I was heavily into it. And then at the same time, I discovered Margaret Cho stand-up. I love her as well still. But when I was younger, like in high school, in our friend group, for some reason, now I look back into it, I can see, well, our comedy wasn't really evolved to this great form that is today. We for a bit really enjoyed Pablo Francisco's stand-up bits.
Who's that?
He's this American stand-up comedian who was big in Millennium. I don't know if he's kind of problematic right now.
Okay.
And does this physical comedy and is all about like sound effects with his mouth. That kind of dude.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't sort of strike me as something that you'd like be into.
Me neither. And
Weird.
that's weird. I was super into that for a second. But I do appreciate good physical comedy as well. I do enjoy some like Jim Carrey's stand-up bits and stuff like that. And the dude, I can't remember his name, the dude from Police Academy movies who does the voice acting, the surreal noises with his mouth.
Michael Winslow.
Yes. I like that sort of goofy humor as well.
Right, let's take a little break. We've got so much stuff to talk about that I want to take a little break here and come back with
All right.
more comedy bits.
Where are you going?
Sometimes during a podcast recording, you need to go and look at yourself in the mirror for a while and go, why am I doing this? So if you wouldn't mind sitting here for a few minutes while I go and have my
Can I join you? I need to do that as well.
I've got a massive mirror. We could both sort of...
self-reflect.
We could both self-reflect.
in most literal way.
Absolutely. Is this a good way to get into break?
Yeah.
It's what we're going with. Bye!
Yo, it's your friend Robin here. So I have just come back from school. I'm in the car and we're driving to next. Woo! I have been doing sports leader training today. Cheese wheels!
Yeah, I can't have that cheese on wheels.
Yes, you can.
No!
Yes, you can.
Right, 2-2. Start again.
No, we're not starting again. Shh. The listeners will love this.
I'm not in.
So I'm a sports leader. Ooh, job scare. Uncle Trav, don't get this out because I want to put this voicemail on the podcasty. So I'd like to just tell you that a sports leader is someone who looks after the younger kids in break time, you know. I had to do a letter and I got in. Whoop, whoop. And if you feel good for me, subscribe to the podcast on TikTok or
What are you talking about?
Spotify or Apple Podcast. Basically anywhere you can get your podcast from. Oh, Dad's calling. We'll have to call him back.
Shut that.
Okay, so anyway, gotta go. Shh. Bye.
Do you know what I noticed?
What?
Your and Kaisa's home always smells so nice.
Do you think?
Yeah.
See, I thought it smelled weird.
No, it smells nice.
Huh.
It's homey.
Is there a specific scent?
In the bathroom, there is this black currant.
Yeah?
That's nice.
Huh.
And that lingers around. My home smells like shit.
Is that why we've never done a podcast there?
Maybe.
Should we go back to what we were talking about? That was lovely, by the way. Thank you. I can't wait for... I'm not going to tell Kaiser. I'm going to wait till she hears this. And then... Yeah, that's nice.
I'm also going to wait that Mikko hears this because our home doesn't smell.
Do you know he, at your birthday, when I saw him, he was stood behind the bar wearing a bow tie, and I was like, I love this man.
Yeah.
And he went, hey, my favourite podcaster. And I was like, that's lovely. You also live with a podcaster. And he was like, oh, yeah, one of the same.
No, I think it's still you.
So earlier we were talking, you mentioned Eddie Izzard.
Yeah.
I love Eddie Izzard. That was the first stand-up that I remember seeing, because similarly we had the DVDs.
You have VHS.
VHSs, yeah. Dress to Kill was
amazing. Shuttered my world.
Yeah. I never thought comedy could be like that.
Yeah.
I thought comedy was set up, punchline, story, punchline. Eddie's way of doing comedy just completely blew my mind, and it's so absurd and so brilliant, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone else who's really stepped up in sort of like mainstream comedy done what she's done. Do you know what I mean?
I think the comedy scene has evolved in recent years more than it did like in the past 10 or 15 because once in a while comes one comedian who does things a little bit different and they like change the game. Hannah Gatsby was one.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And then Bo Burnham with the Inside Special was one. A recent ones who's done things differently and being really interesting at the same time.
Yeah. I loved Bo Burnham's first 2 shows. I struggled with Inside.
Really? How come?
I think it was because it was sort of the pandemic was difficult.
Yeah.
That I was like, this is too real, and I'm not ready to deal with it. I think if I watched it now, I'd be like, this is incredible.
I've even listened to the songs on repeat from Spotify. Yeah, I'm driving to work and can I interest you in everything all of the time? Stepping on a pedal.
I'm gonna revisit. I think I'll revisit that.
I recommend.
One of my first comedy experiences in Finland was, again, we bring her up all the time, our mutual friend Pepe took us to a drag burlesque show that was on a boat. And it was like the second week that I was here.
Yeah.
And I saw a drag performer give birth to themselves.
Sounds amazing.
I've never seen anything like it. And I think about it all the time. And it still makes me laugh now. It is so mad. I love it. I'll have to find out who it is. And you'll have to see it, Inka, because it's brilliant.
So funny. I love that Pepe is our like a culture connoisseur.
Yeah, she introduces us to all sorts of good stuff. Yeah. I love that. Also, another couple of shout outs to some of my other favourite comics. Sarah Millican at the Frog and Bucket in Manchester was one of doing a work in progress show. Mm-hmm. She made me giggle like she was so good. Sophie Duker, I love Sophie Duker. There's so much good comedy coming out of the UK at the minute. So, Finnish versus British comedy.
And especially on television.
Because,
what's the name of the comedian who's done Black Books? The main character?
Dylan Moran.
I love Dylan Moran.
Yes.
From England?
No,
Ireland?
He is. He's
Scotland.
Irish. I'm now doubting myself. I'm pretty sure he's Irish.
All right.
Yeah.
But really good. I love that type of British humor. Black Books, Green Wing, Spaced.
Yes.
All that absurd, fast, weirdo.
I've got some fucking Jaffa cakes in my pocket. Also, my favourite bit from Green Wing is just a little stupid little line where they're talking about something a bit weird and he goes, well, next week on Waxing an Owl. And I'm just like, that is such a fucking weird little...
Join me again next week on this episode of Let's Make No Fucking Sense when I will be waxing an owl.
Anyway, yeah, sorry.
I was just starting to date this one person and I highly recommended Green Wing. And they watched it and was like, who are you?
That's a real sort of dating test. Yeah, I think I tried to show Kaiser and she was like,
What's with the... you can actually find the Black Book episodes free on YouTube nowadays.
Can you?
Yeah.
So Black Books, Green Wing, Spaced were all came from like this very sort of specific era of Channel 4 comedy, which was just like the best era of comedy. And this is sort of when I would say, I don't know, maybe I'm 13, 14, and on a Friday night on Channel 4, it was just wall-to-wall, weird, hilarious, amazing comedy. And it's really sort of formed the way I see the world, is all those sort of shows.
It's like in, 95, 98?
Actually, so this is
2000s?
Like early 2000s maybe they were rerunning them when I was watching them, but sort of early 2000s.
I think Spaced is earlier, 90-something.
Yeah, Space. Yeah, actually, I watched Space a bit later on, but yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's quite similar, because we had in the late 90s in Finland Studio Julmahuvi, which is kind of similar. It's fake TV show that they are making It's like a late night show type of thing, or news broadcast that has different segments in it, fake mockumentaries
Right.
and
I love
stuff like
that.
that.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It's also some of the bits are tiny bit racist, but the other stuff
Yes.
that is not is really good.
You can cherry pick some non-problematic bits, which are really good. Yeah.
I'm gonna cherry pick here, and I think I sent you a clip to that show where a dude comes very drunk at home and starts to sort of self-reflect and renovate the yard in the wintertime.
Yes, you did.
Roudasta rospuuttoon.
So good.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I did watch it, yeah.
How do you feel about that type of humor?
Yes. Big tick for me. It was really funny.
Yeah. Also, the Studio Julmahuvi contained bits like, do you know the song Ameno?
Yeah.
Just that song being lip synced on a bus by different people. That sort of humor.
Amazing.
I heard that you've been already introduced to the great Finnish comedy classic Kummeli.
Is that the one in the cafe?
Yeah, and then you're referring to Tonni Seteli. The guy gives 1,000
Yes.
marks to the guy, and they are just deadpan face, not responding.
I think on the outset, Finnish comedy, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like some of it is so like nuanced.
Right.
Like the jokes are sort of like quite layered. And
Yeah.
like if you find something funny initially and then like the more like you're just watching it just sort of gets funnier and funnier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes when you watch this, for example, Kummeli or some other old TV shows, you kind of have to be inside Finnish culture to get it.
Yeah.
Of course, they can be funny in an absurd way, but also these comedy bits from the 90s are being memes now and stuff like that, and there's references and stuff like that, and you understand them when you watch these old shows.
What I am interested in is you watching or sort of consuming comedy. Has it changed since you yourself are in comedy? How long have you been doing stand-up?
Since 2016.
Right, okay. So, 7 years or so?
Mm-hmm.
In that time, do you find now when you're watching stand-up, you're analysing it differently? Or are you still in the moment enjoying it?
I'm being a bit picky, I think. Eddie Izzard was in Helsinki a few years ago.
Oh, great.
And I went to see her, and it was great. But then I got I was sort of disappointed during the end, because she did this really old joke about having carrots in your ears and not hearing anything. It's like an old kids joke.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it was part of a bigger thing, but I was like, you're telling this like a joke that I can read from a kid's book. I didn't understand its purpose, I think.
Yeah.
And then I felt it felt difficult to enjoy it, because I was like, what is the structure of this whole bit, and what is the meaning of all of this and stuff like that.
I see. That must be really... Yeah.
But then again, I really enjoy when foreign comedians come to Helsinki, and I get to see them and see something different, because also I do a lot of stand-up, and I know the Finnish stand-up comedians, most of them. So I've seen all of their things.
Yeah, you know
over and over again. So it's quite difficult to enjoy the basic sets that my fellow comedians do, unless they're really, really funny, or it's something new that I haven't heard before.
Yeah. So if they're like, "Oh, I'm debuting a new bit tonight," it's like, "Oh,
Oh,
great,
yeah. The audience is like, "Whoa," and the comedians are like, "Woohoo!"
yeah, new stuff."
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I wanted to touch on some of my favourite, more modern comedy series from the UK and to see if they've crossed over here. What We Do in the Shadows.
Amazing. But I love the show. I love the movie more.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because I watched the series before I watched the movie.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm more attached to the show, I think. But the film is brilliant.
Yeah.
So good. And I know it's a sort of New Zealand / British thing, but the main cast in the TV show mainly British. So
Have I told this story before? That Taika, my co-host and co-writer, was part of this Facebook group at one point where Taika Waititi, I'm sorry Taika, I'm telling you stories on other formats. Taika Waititi invited to this Facebook group the Taikas of the world, different person from Facebook with the first name Taika, and the group was called Taikas of the World. And it mainly consisted like New Zealand men and Finnish women. and he gave like everyone this like a nickname before the Taika name, like you would be Crazy Taika,
right.
or something like that.
Yeah. What was the end goal?
I don't know.
That's just a funny thing to do.
Yeah.
I love that. I'd love if there was some sort of like love story that happened where
maybe our correspondents will have.
we actually received we got I'm going to do Buy Me a Coffee big ups in a little bit, but we got a Buy Me a Coffee donation from New Zealand.
Really?
It was anonymous, so I can't tell you if it was a Taika or not, but maybe they are aware of this phenomenon of Taikas in love.
New Zealand dudes, contact us. We want to know.
Finnish women, contact us. Please. We want to know if you fell in love with a New Zealander. And do you think, like, Finnish comedy translates into English well?
In some ways, yes. There's been this new fresh wave of comedy, I think. Big show was Aikuiset, adults, which was about 20-something-year-olds in Kallio, Helsinki.
Oh, right.
Living their life.
Oh.
Yeah, highly recommend. It's in Yle Areena, I think.
Great.
For free. And then there's Rakkaat lapset, Dear Kids, which is about like a matriarch with problematic children, and the matriarch is also very problematic.
Love that.
And about this family dynamic. There's been good female-led comedy in recent years. Siskonpeti, which is the term where siblings or friends are sleeping in the same bed, like not in a sexual way, but like in a just
cost saving.
No, but like a sleepover.
Oh, right.
Do you have a word for that? When you put a mattress on the floor and 5 people are sleeping on mattresses by each other.
Like a crack den?
That sounds something we can't be cancelled for.
No, I thought no, it doesn't matter. No, I don't really know that concept.
All right.
Sleepover would be the closest.
But name for the bed.
Oh, no.
Okay. Siskonpeti.
Okay. I love those Finnish words that don't have a origin in English.
Yeah.
And now we can just adopt them.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, my energy went up because I drank this unnamed energy drink that refers to flying, and
that rhymes with ped full.
And now I'm crashing hard from my bed full rush.
Wow. Do you need to lie down?
I'm not
Your
sure.
eyes are glazing over. Okay, well, it's probably time to wrap up the podcast then. I just wanted to say, I think Britain's best gift to the world comedy-wise is Taskmaster.
Do you know, we also have Taskmaster in Finland.
Yes, I've seen it advertised in the metro.
Yeah, Suurmestari, which quite translates to Grandmeister.
Okay.
Yeah.
As good.
Yeah. It's fun. I think it's a bit meaner than Taskmaster.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Bit more embarrassing, the comics.
no,
Oh.
but I don't. This also doesn't translate. If I say someone is vittuilee, someone is like fucking with you a
like
little
being
bit,
right?
being
Yeah,
a bit bitchy.
yeah.
That sort of
Bit catty.
yeah, in a little
Okay.
bit. The Finnish version does that a little bit more than the UK Taskmaster.
I think the UK one's probably in a bit more good-natured.
In a way,
Yeah.
In a way, of course, it depends on the cast and la di da da.
Yes.
But the Grandmeister themselves is a bit more catty in Finland.
Oh, okay. I want to check that out. Mm-hmm. Do you know I had a Taskmaster-themed birthday party?
You did
Yeah.
the last one.
No,
Oh,
no.
oh.
This is when I still lived in London.
All right,
And
because that is a show. Shout out to the universe. Cast me to a Finnish Taskmaster. I
That-
would be amazing in it.
that would be the best moment in my life if you were on the Finnish Taskmaster. You would be so good at it.
I would be so good. I can think outside the box. I'm weird. I do difficult and stupid decisions in my life.
Yeah.
I would be great in it.
Okay, we're starting the groundswell now. The hashtag is Get Inca on Taskmaster. Get Inca on Suurmestari.
Surumestari. That's the grief master.
Yeah. I think that would be the best. Sorry, my fucking mouth fell out then. One of my dear friends, Ed Gamble, who I've not mentioned because he's a friend and he's one of the best stand-ups in the UK,
Right.
won Taskmaster.
Really?
Yeah, and he as part...
I'm gonna Google his face.
Yes. So for the first task of my Taskmaster birthday, Ed filmed a video with his Taskmaster trophy and set the first task as the invitation to the party.
Hello, attendees of Trav's Taskmaster themed birthday party. I am the Taskmaster, Greg Davis. Not really, it's me, Ed Gamble, Taskmaster champion. Better than being the Taskmaster. Now, Trav has asked me to read out your first task for the big birthday bash. That's what he's calling it, the big birthday bash. So I've got that just here. I'm going to read this out now. Your first task. Bring the most delicious thing to the party for under the value of $4.99. He's been very specific about that on the task here. It has to be under the value of $4.99. If it's £5, it's going in the fucking bin. You have 2 weeks. Your time starts now. Goodbye, everyone. Have a nice party. Happy birthday, Trav.
The one who won that get to have all those your presents.
I had to hand them over with tears in my eyes. And I was like, well, can I please keep this orange chocolate twirl? They're like, no. Yeah, absolutely brilliant show, and you should be on it.
I highly agree. Also, another show where I would love to be on is, the Netflix show Nailed It. Where it's a cooking show where they get like total amateurs on kitchen to do this insanely difficult cakes.
Oh.
And then they laugh at them.
Oh my God. I have never heard of that. That is
It's
fantastic.
so good. But in a like a good-hearted way.
Yeah.
That way, it's not like it's not mocking them. It's more like they know they suck, and it's laughing with them. And I want to host it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Nicole Byer, who is also a great.
I love Nicole Byer.
Yeah, host the show.
I love Nicole.
Yeah.
Her podcast with Lauren Lapkus, Newcomers, is fantastic. If you're into things like Marvel or Star Wars, they watch whole franchises, having never seen them before.
Oh, that's good. That's so good.
Really good, really good.
Yeah.
That's a Beck rec. That's a Beck rec from Inca for nailed it. Right, well, we've done some good talking there, considering we're both a bit tired.
What about the cliffhanger
Well,
that we gave earlier?
Let's do this first, and then we'll get to that. Because we owe some because it's been quite a while since we recorded an episode. We've got quite a few Buy Me a Coffee big ups to do.
That's great.
Eric from Doncaster, big up to you.
Dong.
And there's nothing I can really add to that, so big up, Dong. Jack Pike, 3 coffees from Jack. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
An anonymous 3 coffees.
Thank you, hackers.
They added 3 coffees to our account and also took 15. So, we're in the minus. Star of today's episode, Tutti, donated 5 coffees to us.
Oh my god.
And she stipulated these are cold coffees because kulma kahvi kaunista.
Do you know what that means? Did you?
Well, if I was to break it down, it'd be cold coffee's beautiful.
Cold coffee makes you beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So Tutti is being like a bit catty there as well.
Yeah.
You need to be prettier.
That's why you sent so many, is it, Tutti? One coffee, and that was specifically a birthday coffee for you.
Oh, how nice.
Which is really nice.
Thank you so much. I drank it with some booze on my birthday. Minus the coffee.
Yeah. I did a shot of vodka.
Actually, it was tequila.
Oh,
it was
I see.
awful. No, it was vodka. We requested also always good request to the bar at 2 a.m. Hey, should we get some tequila? They didn't have it. They had Stolichnaya, some other Russian vodka.
Yeah.
And we had that.
I did a shot of Yalovina at your other half's. So I was feeling pretty ill at your birthday.
Right.
And he went, have some Yalovina.
That's my guy.
Yeah. And I did it, and he was like, you'll feel better. I did not feel better.
Was it 1 star, 2 star, 2 star, or 3 star Yalovina?
I don't know. I didn't read any of the reviews.
It's it's on the label. If it's 1 star Yalovina,
Yeah.
it's the cheapest one,
Oh,
and it
okay.
has the least amount of sambus.
Oh,
no, if
okay.
it's 3 star, it's fine Yalovina. But the 1 star Yalovina is also called Sheriff. The Sheriff.
That's very good.
Yeah.
If I was to guess, 2 star.
All right.
It felt like a 2-star beverage. Final Buy Me a Coffee big up to another anonymous. A flat white from a lazy snoozin in New Zealand, who I mentioned earlier. So
Flat
big
whites.
Up, flat.
I
Fancy
think
flat
we made
white.
fun of flat whites and New Zealanders.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
That'll
shout
be what.
out to you.
You corresponders are really good at your callbacks and references, so thank you all for that. All right, any other business?
Yes. This was our last episode, a regular episode with Can I Finish. I have to quit doing this podcast because
Wait, what? That's a joke. I already knew.
I got the grant to do other artistic things related to bimbos
Yes.
and that world. So I need to prioritize my time. And what I can say, can you play some like sobby song behind me on the background?
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're probably gonna add it later.
Like that?
No, I'm a bit like a sad violin song.
I don't have any
You
sounds.
have a weird soundboard there. Should have used that more. I just want to say that I've enjoyed this journey. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you, Inka. That was really nice.
Thank you, listeners.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that we got so many corresponders.
Yes.
I'm blown away by this. And also we had so many lovely messages. And I've drank so many coffees. My digestive system is ruined.
Yeah, God. There's a real case of Can I Finish IBS? CIF IBS.
It's a syndrome.
Get yours now.
Start a podcast. But yeah, it's been so great.
Yeah, I think I just want to say thank you to you because we met up in a pub and I said, hey, I've had this silly idea that maybe we could do something together because you're really funny. And
I was sold on the minute you said I was funny. I'm like, yes,
I see.
I
It's about
do
flattery.
anything.
So you're really funny. Do you want to stay and do a second season? No, but I've had so much fun doing this, and what's been really great is people, when I go back to the UK, are like, Inka, tell me about Inka. She's amazing. All these people who listen to the podcast and who I've like met up with, friends and family and stuff like that, and getting to know you over these 10 episodes has been so fun, and I will very much cherish these weird sort of few hours we spent in this studio in my spare bedroom in Cali.
Yes.
So on that, there is a little bit of business we've still got to do before you ride off into your bimbo-filled sunset.
Yes.
I've got something to tell you.
I'm gonna ride with this like a pink Corvette
Yes.
car that I probably can't drive.
Yeah.
And it's stuck on a mud and
For some reason, I thought it was going to be a like a horse because you're riding off, but like
it can
would
be a
have pink
unicorn.
unicorn
Also, yes.
wearing cowboy boots, diamante cowboy boots.
Oh, that would be so cool.
It would. Let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Somebody, if anyone's good at graphic design or AI.
Oh, I don't. Does anyone know any unicorns?
Has anyone got a horse they can stick a...
Oh, I thought it was a polyamory thing.
Imagine that's the last thing. It's like, oh, by the way, anyone want to be in a
DM me.
Yeah.
I
My
want to
DMs?
ride you to the sunset.
They're open. I'll ride you all the way to the sunset and back, baby. That would be the best place to end this. But I've actually got to tell you something.
Yeah.
We've got one more episode to do.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, I'm telling them.
All right.
Well, technically, there's 2 episodes. I've not told Inka about one of them, but one of them is we have been invited, Inka, to interview the ambassador to the UK.
We're going to interview the ambassador.
Yes.
Why did I say it with the
ambassador?
weird Arnold Schwarzenegger imitation?
The ambassador. We're going to get to the chopper.
Get to the embassy.
Get to the ambassador. I've never done that impression before, and I don't think I'm ever going to do it again because it's half Arnold Schwarzenegger, half something quite inappropriate. We're going to go to the ambassador's residence, and we're going to record an interview. We said we wouldn't have guests, but...
Hey, surprise.
Surprise.
If ambassador is like, do you wanna? We're not gonna be like, no.
Listen, we're not going to turn that situation down, are
No.
we?
This is gonna be the second most stupidest thing that we've done after the song.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
But the ambassador doesn't know this yet.
No, I have been informed. She's not listened. But we've got some friends in the embassy who set this up because they're fans and they want to hear the ambassador speak to us. So
the ambassador is in for a treat.
oh yeah, and also there's an extra bonus episode next week, which is very exciting. TV's Tyler West from the UK. He was on Strictly. He's a TV presenter and radio presenter. He came to Finland to record something for British TV. So he's going to come on and he's going to tell us what he thinks of Finland. And he's a weird guy. So it's going to be an interesting conversation. We thought, why, if we're not going to have guests, why not have 2?
Yeah, and also Travis's mom. So
Oh, yeah.
we already had a guest.
We lie. Turns out all the rules that we set up at the start of this podcast, we fucking broke them all. There you go. Can I Finish will be back in some form for a season 2 at some point. But for now, Inka, goodbye, my friend.
Goodbye. It was great.
It was great.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Can I Finish? Please subscribe to Can I Finish? Please, okay? On Insta, TikTok, podcasts, Spotify, all that jazz wickamara. Music in this episode comes from Matt Large and Sarah, the instrumentalist, courtesy of Epidemic Sound. Our artwork is by Peppercini. Thank you.
You can do good comedy and not be a monster.
Why
Has
is
to be
it?
a way.
You don't have to be a fucking weirdo and an arsehole. What's wrong with people?